today's topic, we're going to talk about the power of saying no. I love this topic. Okay, so hello, and welcome to the live today. I'm Stacey Hanlon, and I'm the owner of Wildflower Story. I am a life coach and a photographer. I empower women to help them to move past their struggles. So today, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, that we're going to be talking about the wonderful thing about the power of saying no. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so we always have that power. We always have the power to say no. It's just knowing that we do, right? And which we'll get to in a few moments. Hey, Kim. Okay, so we often have the power to say no, but we often feel that pressure into saying yes. We do this often to please other people and to gain their acceptance. But this is actually not true. This actually leaves you feeling horrible and sometimes even down and sad, not sad, but overwhelmed, right? That you've actually accepted or said yes. All right. So you have the right to say no if you do not want to do something. You have the right to say that you will think about it. Ask yourself in that moment, is this something that you really want to do? Right? Will you gain anything from helping out this person? Right? Do you have that time dedicated, right, to be able to do you have hang on, I'm trying to reframe this. Do you have time to dedicate yourself to doing what is being asked of you? Right? Does the pros outweigh the cons? You don't do it because you just feel guilty, right? You have the choice. It's about valuing your time and yourself. It's knowing what your priorities are. And then it's also to be able to create boundaries around them, right? So if you find yourself in this sort of situation, don't apologize. Okay. If you'd like to say no, then say no. Or at the very least, say that you will think about it. And as I was saying, like you have that absolute right to do that, right? You do not have to offer any explanation. You can suggest an alternative solution if you'd like. You are in control of yourself and your actions. And this other person that's asking you to do something for them, they might not even follow up with you. Regardless, you have to be prepared with an answer. And honestly, this used to be me. I had a really hard time saying no to others. I was a people pleaser. And I'm going back like more teenage years, early 20s, that time period of my life. I didn't want to disappoint other people, right? I was that person and I was only harming myself, but I didn't see it that way, right? I was running on empty. Um, I just felt so tired and I felt drained all the time. And I didn't know that I had the option to say no, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but I really and truly didn't think about it. I just always someone asked me to do something, okay, sure, I'll do it, right? And just went along and I did that. But what I want you to do is I want you to practice saying no. Okay? So if you're one of those type of people that has a really hard time in saying no, go practice in the mirror. I know it sounds kind of silly to do that, but doing that, it gives you, it's kind of like role playing, right? When you role play something out, um, you're able to hash it out, to come up with different scenarios, to come up with different words that you would use in that moment. And if you don't use those moments, or even if you fumble through it, through saying no, you're still saying no, right? But it's also building up that confidence, right? To be able to say no, right? But if you do not say no, you could be burning yourself from saying all of those yeses. And that other person, they might take advantage of you, or you may already be feeling this way, right? So, do you feel good about helping this person out? These are questions that you need to ask yourself, right? Does helping this person, does it appeal to you, right? You always want to follow your gut feeling, right? That's going to always be super important, right? Because it needs to feel right, right within you, right? I always tend to make my decisions based on my gut feeling. Um, I'm kind of spontaneous that way. But if it doesn't feel good for me, then I don't tend to do it, right? Because it needs to sit well within me. But regardless, it is difficult to make this decision, but it needs to be done, but it also needs to be done in a delicate way. Okay. So after you're done doing this once, it gets way easier to do this, right? And you will feel so empowered and so amazing once you do. So don't be afraid. This is how healthy relationships and boundaries are created. And doing this will help to strengthen it, right? You'll gain a greater of sense of self and respect for not only yourself, but even it even could be for the other person as well. So here's something that I heard many, many, many years ago, back when I'm sure most of you will remember when Oprah Winfrey had her talk show, right? Um, she said something one day and it really stuck with me, right? Like I'm gonna tear up thinking about it, right? We teach others how to treat us. And my mind was so blown when she said that because that's a direct reflection of how you see yourself, right? And that is, there's nothing more powerful than that, right? So if people aren't treating you properly, you need to reflect within yourself to figure out, okay, what can I do differently within me to make other people respect myself, right? It's, sorry, I'm going a little off topic, but it's such an important thing to think about, to contemplate, to be able to achieve. Um, oh, yeah, that's just, it's so powerful. And it really, it's clearly it's hit home for me because it's so accurate. So, going back to the topic of the power of saying no, if this doesn't happen and this person is asking or doesn't respect you or value as a person, then you have to take a step back and reflect, okay, why doesn't this person feel this way? Right? What can I do to change that? Right? I know today I didn't create any homework to go along with a workbook. That's what I'm looking for to go along with this live. But between the mirror exercise and doing a little bit of reflecting to figure out different aspects of yourself that you need to improve upon, that would be the areas that, or even questions that I would start to ask myself, like, um, what exactly is this person seeing in me that I don't see within myself? Does that make sense? I think I need to reframe that. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, what are they seeing within me? Why am I not? Why am I not? Why are they reflecting back to me something that, or not treating me the way that I think that I should be treated, right? It's more or less what I'm trying to say. And it's important, right? Because you want to have those healthy and clear boundaries set within your relationships. Those are always going to be super, super important. Um, because you need to honor yourself, right? You need to put yourself first, right? And you need to do this at all times. Now, today's live is super, super short, so it's a good one, but it's a short one. But does anyone have any questions? If you want, just drop them in the comments, And we'll see if any comes up. If they are, then I will address them. And I'll give you guys a moment. Okay, don't think I see anything. If I have missed any of your questions, I will circle back and address them. All right. So I just want to take a moment to thank you all so much for joining me on my live today to learn more about the power of saying no. And I hope that this has helped you and that you will start to include this in your toolbox of being able to say no. Actually, I feel like I need to, as I'm ending, I'm just thought of something else to add. What is a toolbox, right? So, I mean, it's a metaphorically a toolbox. So it's like a actual toolbox where you keep your tools, right? Like your drills, your hammers, your nails, all those sort of things. This is a what's the word? It's an actual like pretend toolbox, right? That you're able to put in different tools that you learn, right? To be able to help to improve yourself, right? That's what that toolbox means. Because I don't think I've had an opportunity to mention toolbox. I know that I do quite often, but I don't think I've mentioned it on any of my lives. So if you are watching this replay, please write hashtag replay. And until next time, thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful week.